I guess I've got to call into question some things. First of all, Representative Kester, please don't do the advance for increasing enrollment for Ankeny. That's a property tax reduction. We'd rather you use those state resources for the kids all across the state. We can levy for property taxes, we have the growth, and I think that's our responsibility. As far as 08, 09 being such an awful time because of across-the-board cuts, let's remember our history. Greatest recession we've seen since the Great Depression. I think everybody would have thought we would have had across-the-board cuts with what was happening at that time. But I guess I need to comment, Representative Whitford, I am a constituent of yours, and I get your newsletters, and you responded to me on my school finance letter. And you're telling us how we're down $118, $111 million this year. Well, I want to take us back in history to 2012. We had a $900 billion surplus, and we had the rainy days full. So we implemented a $275 million commercial and industrial property tax credit. And the vast majority of that money is exported out of state, to corporate interests that don't have any influence here. It's hurting our economy. You've increased corporate tax cuts. John Deere is getting how many million, tens of millions of dollars in research grants, and they don't pay any income tax here, and now they don't pay property taxes either. So you say that education is your priority. I don't believe you. I don't believe you when I see these numbers. 344 million, I do your math, Representative Landon, and get down to your 219. 43.5% of that 219 the governor proposed is $95.5 million, not 40. Not 40, you're 55.5 million lower. So we're not the priority we used to be. So my question to you, and Representative Kester, this summer in your debate, you said, I will only vote for adequate allowable growth, supplemental state aid. So I guess I'm to believe that 1.11 in your mind is adequate. We don't think so. We in education think it needs to be 4%. But my question isn't going to be about SSA. My question is going to be about SSA. My question is, until we can refund 4% SSA, will you vote against each and every tax cut that becomes before you? So we put children before corporate out-of-state interests and wealthy power.
What I can promise you is I am very interested in looking at tax reform, including corporate tax.
Sir, if that's where you want to be, sir, this is not a good place for you. Please be respectful. He's got a right to speak, but listen, we don't need to be that way. Go ahead, John.
I will commit that I am very interested in looking at tax reform, including the corporate tax cuts. That's something that that we should be looking at all the time.
The only thing I would predict, not promise, would be that the $40 million will not be the end game on K-12 funding. We will improve it by things that we couldn't do that early. We will bring forward other things that bring revenue to education in an intelligent way that will have thorough discussion.
I believe your job is to represent all constituents once you're elected, and I think you guys do too. You will hear from a few of our members today, the Ankeny Education Association. Listening today, I have some concerns about whether you understand the impacts of the collective bargaining bill as it's written. I'd like to respectfully request that sometime in the next 48 hours, you make it a priority in connecting in person with the executive team of the Ankeny Education Association, one of the largest collective bargaining units that will be impacted in your legislative area, to know our perspective on the impact of that collective bargaining bill. Will each of you commit to joining us in the next 48 hours?
Yeah, for sure. I'd be happy to.
Thank you.
My question is in regards to the collective bargaining bill. And my question is if you are willing to make public workers as well as teachers subject to annual termination without cause in this bill. Without cause, would you commit to making your legislative position subject to annual elections to determine your job status?
I have heard concerns from a lot of people about the just cause. I've heard a lot of concerns about people from, about the just cause language. We've taken that back, and I think that's something we're gonna be able to change in that bill. We're working on that right now. And so, I think we're gonna be able to get something fixed on it.
Bozo's on the ballot every other year, and that's one way that y'all hold me accountable. I will be a listener, and I will not be back if you don't like the way I perform. I understand.